Dubai is pretty open, by the way. Dubai has this mentality that we'll just grow the pie bigger. More people come, it will grow bigger. If you're too worried about supply, go to a location that's already built. Dubai, it's going to be less dramatic because as markets mature, the cycles become less dramatic because people don't panic. Hey guys, listen, sometimes you guys send really wonderful comments to me. It's not even a question, but you're just having a little bit of a debate, sharing information that otherwise I might not be privy to. Other people might not be privy to. So I want to read this from a gentleman, NJ1983, who had sent some comments about Singapore. I replied to him, and then he replied as well after that. So if you wanna see my reply, check out the videos. But I think his comments are good, and they are for the masses to also relate to and understand, right? I think others are going to be able to benefit from his comments. So basically, he talked about Singapore. I talked about how Dubai market is different from the Singapore market as well, and how it might be something you might want to consider. So he goes on to give a comment some time ago. He said, "Thanks a lot for taking up my comment and explaining your point of view." You're welcome. I appreciate it. Some of the best genuine conversations and some of the best videos happen when I get real comments from people and I get to reply, because, you know, I can make content all day long, but then sometimes when you guys ask a question, it's a very genuine question because it might be burning question for you and important for you. So I get to reply, and it's very good. He goes on to say, "You understand Dubai real estate market very well, so I take your word for it." Yeah, I think I do. I'm still learning. Okay, so I'm not perfect. I took the Singapore example as I have been living in Singapore since past 14 years. I want to say something to you guys. I was born in Dubai. My grandfather was in Dubai. My father was in Dubai. And I have an inquisitive, curious nature. So a lot of the buildings that are built around, like a lot of the stories that I know about Dubai, a lot of people might not know, even if they were born and raised here. For example, you might not know this, but in the early days, in the 80s, when rents were starting to get out of hand in Dubai, like Dubai's not faced that incremental rental situation for the first time where supply was in short supply. And how do I know this? Because my dad worked with Dubai municipality, which was the main city planning government body, and he worked there for 28 years. And when the people in charge in Dubai saw that people couldn't afford to keep their families here because rents were going up, they commissioned 3 areas where they wanted to build affordable housing, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, small. You could just live there with your family, grow up with your family. And I've seen families, even very wealthy families, as in people who had money, continue living there. Those places, the rents were controlled. They were very, very low. And there are 3 areas that were built. Okay, so there was, I think, 3 or 4. There was Al Qusais. Okay, there's a particular name for it. I don't remember. Al Hamdan colony, I think. It was called Al Hamdan colony, maybe. There was Qusais. There was Al Shab colony. Okay, these were government-owned areas. There was Karama, and then there was Satwa. Satwa was less apartments, but Hamdan, I think there were a few hundred to a few thousand. Al Shab colony, which is Horaland, near Horaland. So a lot of these places have been, demolished and rebuilt now. Al Shab and then Karama. These were like thousands and thousands of apartments. Why? Because from what I was told from my elders is that the general governance people in charge, when they saw people were sending their families, Dubai used to be very transient. It still is for some people, but a lot of people from Pakistan and India were living here, and if they couldn't keep their families here, and they said, look, we'll just live here on our own, then these people in government, they said, okay, what happens if all these people keep sending people home? Who's going to use the schools? Who's going to go to the hotels? Who's going to go to the parks? And it wasn't even about taxes at that time, but they wanted to, and also from a security and safety perspective, like, I'm not saying somebody who's without a family is a dangerous thing necessarily, because a lot of people are, either bachelors or they're living without their families, and it doesn't necessarily make them dangerous. But generally speaking, having a more family environment compared to just young men or old men or middle-aged men is more wholesome. I don't think you could disagree with that, because it gives the balance to society, right? So they built that to maintain that, right? So Dubai's seen that before. I know this to be true. So this guy, and Jane continues to say, I took Singapore example as I have been living in Singapore since past 14 years. I understand that. That's wonderful. About Singapore, yes, it's not easy to get a long-term visa. There you go, right? That's like the main challenge. And I think that Singapore is even more difficult to go and settle in over there than compared to the US of A, perhaps UK. Like I'm not privy to what you might be aware of how Singapore operates, but I think it's even more complicated. Like in the US, I think if you go there, let's use the word as just on a tourist visa, I think there's a lot of people who ended up living in the US, made money, bought properties, got a passport. I think Singapore is very difficult to do that, right? But Dubai as a country, as a city, allows you to come here, look for a job, look for work. It's not that difficult to get a visa. It is getting more challenging. They're going to go down the path of London and the Schengen countries, but it's not there yet. Singapore, yes, it's not easy to get a job as a foreigner, especially since last 6 years. Dubai is easy, still easy if you know what you're doing, and you're not super complicated. As in, I need to get X amount of money for the amount of work experience. Fine, you can. But perhaps your first job, you might want to step down and then grow back into your previous job. That's okay, right? Dubai allows that. So after COVID, the rents have gone up crazy, which were already high to start with. This Dubai is similar to Singapore in this scenario. Very difficult to get PR, especially for people from certain countries. There you go. In Dubai, we're not talking about PR, but we're talking about golden visas right now. You have to be from a very special country to not be able to get a golden visa. If you're not a security risk, if you clear all the things that, generally to clear, you can get a 10-year visa. If you don't have PR, you have to pay additional stamp duty, ABSD. I guess that's the stamp duty. Okay, not only is it more difficult and you're not going to get PR. By the way, if you don't have PR and you still want to invest in a country, be our guest. Come, bring your money, but you must pay more. I don't understand that, right? It's not really good. But, Singapore, every country has their own challenges. Maybe they don't want to encourage too many people coming in because they know that, the supply is constricted, right? Constricted. Guys, if you want to end up buying a property in Dubai, you want our services, there is a link below somewhere. You can click it, fill up a form, we can talk. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon as well. Oh my God, the ABSD, the stamp duty is up to 60% of the apartment price. Whew. PRs pay 5% ABSD. What do you want me to say? There's no sense in that. So if you don't have PR, I guess you would then go around the route of getting PR before you buy property. I'm sure Singapore is an amazing country to be in. It was the place to go and visit for many years, and probably still is. But of course, these stamp duties and all of these are pretty discouraging. Only citizens can buy landed properties. I think that by landed properties, I think you mean villas. Foreigners, including PRs, can only buy apartments. Complicated. These were the reasons which made me consider to move to Dubai. Okay, good. Welcome. Dubai is pretty open, by the way. Dubai is welcoming, and alhamdulillah, Dubai has this mentality that we'll just grow the pie bigger, right? And if more people come, it will grow bigger. And to be honest with you, this has been the case globally. Let more people come in. Like the US was, in my opinion, the number one place where you could dream big, earn big, grow big. And one of the things was you could get a permanent residency. I think you stay 5 years, and then you get a passport, right? So a lot of people made the US their home, and their dream, and their vessel, to make their dream come true. Especially I think in the 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think 2000 things started changing, right? What made me nervous about Dubai is the non-stop supply compared to SG, where government has a tight control over supply and regulates the market. This is an interesting point, but I'm going to tell you something. Guys, listen. If you're too worried about supply, go to a location that's already built. There's only one downtown. There's only one Burj Khalifa. But then you might say, oh, what about Creek Harbor that's being built as Downtown 2.0? Well, it's going to take 20 years, 25 years maybe, for it to come on into its own. Like, for example, what is happening in downtown right now? The mall is already built. Burj Khalifa, the tallest tower in the world, is already built. There's fountains that you can watch and view and enjoy. There's the boulevard that looks very beautiful. In fact, I had once an investor. We were looking all over Dubai. This was, some years ago, 4 years ago. We were looking, and at the moment we drove into downtown, they were like, wow, what is this place? Because the lights were on. I think it was November and the weather was nice and so on and so forth. Like, they put a lot of lights on in October, November, December. I think the lights are on even now. At nighttime, it looks beautiful, like the boulevard, right? The boulevard looks nice. So the Opera House, the fountain, the downtown, Dubai Mall, the Burj Khalifa, all of this is already built. So if you think, oh my God, what about Creek Harbor? Creek Harbor doesn't even have a mall yet. If they start building the mall, it's going to take 4 years for the mall to finish. And for the mall to start competing with Dubai Mall, it's going to take another 3-4 years. So you buy and invest in downtown, you're safe, right? Because the location's built. So even if Dubai is building, which they need to do, and they're building out of Dubai because on the outskirts now, because, just requirements. Singapore government has tight control over supply and regulates the market. I think the government everywhere regulates the market, and it's a good thing, it's not a bad thing. Obviously, here the citizens benefit as they are mostly the owners of the property and foreigners generally rent. I understand the points made by you regarding why the supply in Dubai. Hopefully in future, Dubai does have less dramatic up-down cycles. It's going to be less dramatic because as markets mature, the cycles become less dramatic because people don't panic. You got to understand, right? The 2008 crash, people hadn't seen anything. Like they were on a roller coaster ride because they thought to the moon, literally, they felt to the moon. Like people were selling property and there were two partners in a property and one partner said like, we're making a stupid mistake. Prices are going to go to the moon. Why are we selling now? And the other partners are like, listen, this is a bubble. Let's exit. And then, if they both didn't sell, they panicked. And then they sell at a loss or whatever the case is. And then there were other people who panicked. But now there's no need for panic, right? We see business bay buildings built. We see people living here. That's the pandemic came. The weird pandemic came. People didn't run away from Dubai. They're still here. In fact, Dubai was one of the places to be. It will benefit everyone, the investors, renters, brokers. Best wishes. Thank you, Jane, for your lovely comment. I really appreciate the time you took to put such a long comment, which made sense. And I hope others would be able to benefit from this comment as well and the discussion that I've had, unilateral discussion with you right now.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. My name is Fahd Dawood. I've been doing this for 15 plus years. I started in Toronto, Canada in 2006, and since 2007, I've been based in Dubai and doing real estate in Dubai. Look, if you're looking to work with me, there's a form below and my mobile number. I do paid consulting. You can also get help from my team for services. If you like the video, press the like button, press the subscribe and the bell icon, and share it with your friends who you feel would be able to benefit from the content of this video. Last but not the least, I'll repeat, me and my team's role is always going to be to help and select the best property for you. Your role will be to invest in that property, and we will in turn invest in your life and your future. Bye for now.